It's been a tight contest so far. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter. Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the second quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run because we envision them in offenses, catch the ball, how much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Here's Jackson to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. It's another first down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there of finding him in stride for really good yardage.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. Jackson options out left, and holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
He'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Jackson. This is caught inside the 15. 36 yards on the play.
We have seen big plays from both quarterbacks throughout this game, and there's another one right there. Going back and forth, almost like two excellent guitar soloists trying to top each other with each additional play.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They go play action now. Jackson to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, but now we also have an injured player. We always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up 3rd.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it, it won't be easy.
And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the Ravens are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that will tie us at 24. Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. Phillips. He's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. After that last touchdown we just saw, Charles, we got ourselves a brand new ball game, all tied here in the third as they have their first possession of this second half.
And Brandon, this drive is all about one word to me, and that's the word answer, because they're trying to answer the momentum the other offense picked up in time in the game, because not only if they score and they feel better about themselves, they'll retake the lead and maybe set the tone for the rest of the half, keeping them in the driver's seat.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Pierce now up the middle. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. Stroud here on 3rd and long. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
The way this offense is marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
And they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation, because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
And he'll get it down here to the 43. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Jackson taps this forward, jet sweep. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd and a yard. Throwing is Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Isaiah Likely with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Ravens have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front.
And that 3rd counter there gives them the lead, and it's obvious they've needed everything that he's given them today. The 3 touchdowns, that's impressive, but without them, they're not winning this game.
Tucker now to add the point after. And they will take a 7-point lead now. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And finishing that drive off was the touchdown grab by Isaiah Likely. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Houston set to take over. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Well, they get to Stroud, nowhere to go, and he goes down. Justin Madubuike working his way with the quarterback that time. It has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. See, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass?
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Roquan Smith getting him once again, his 3rd sack of the afternoon. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive, as it'll begin in enemy territory already. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he is going to lose yardage here. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
The 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, I don't know if you ever go into a game expecting to attempt a kick of 62 yards. Charles, not only attempt it, but make it one of the longest kicks that we've ever seen.
Yeah, I'm not sure you ever go into a game expecting to kick one at this distance, but all the better kickers, they do dream of it, and they show what they can do in practice and convince their coaches to give them a chance. That one surely paid off.
Phillips now from the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity, because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Stroud. And that's going to be incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Fielded at the 33. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7. And they will take over 1st and 10. Ravens offense getting set and ready for this next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get them 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our experience, how much fun is it for coaches to know that they've got a kicker who can nail it from long distance? Now the hard part is, as an offensive play caller, you don't want that in your head too much where you're relying on it, and he goes out and gets the job done for them. But I'm quite sure he would be content to just kick extra points from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely no question. I think his teammates would be okay with him just kicking the extra points as well. Now Jackson on 2nd down. This one into the hands of Aguilar. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Isaiah Likely, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
Tucker now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And finishing that drive off was the touchdown grab by Isaiah Likely. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. And now out comes Houston. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Play action. Here's Stroud. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. On 2nd down, it's Stroud. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
And this is a situation where as a head coach, you're just saying, what else could go wrong? Let's get it all out of our system, please. This has been a sloppy game throughout. The execution has been lacking. A lot of mistakes, both mental and physical. And here's a big play that goes by the wayside.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Ravens ready to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
Then confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. Will Anderson gets to him for the tackle. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. That'll be caught by the big tight end, Andrews. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A gain of 8 there on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
I thought maybe when he caught it, he'd have a good chance of getting that first down, but that's a nice job of holding him up and preventing him from getting to the sticks.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
I think it's safe to say that he's made some questionable decisions out there so far. Forced some throws into tight coverage. He's already been picked off in this game. 4th down now, but he was fortunate on that one not to have another turnover on his ledger.
And taken right at the 35. And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. It's a pretty strong running there as he'll take this across the 50 and down to the 44. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Brandon, I think you and I were both raised the same way in the game of football. You run to set up the pass, but I think we've discovered in this NFL, a lot of teams pass to set up the run. And that's what they've done throughout this game. They've aired it out, thrown it around the yard. Now they've come back to the running game, and they find a way to be successful with it.
And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end, and that play going nowhere. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16. In motion left here, one of their tight ends. On 3rd down, here's Edwards. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. To throw is Jackson. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And this Texans defense stands tall. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter.
First down, Texans.
Stroud to the air on 1st and 10. Toward the sideline, intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line.
Well, it certainly felt like he was going to challenge this defense no matter what, and he stepped up and tried to throw it to the outermost edge of the zone coverage, and they were more than ready for him. The problem now is if they are limited in what they're doing throwing the football, they got to figure out how to move it without being able to throw it to the outside and throw it downfield.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeout?
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. Their passing game has been spectacular this afternoon. Finally, a win for the defense.
You think maybe there was an adjustment there. Finally gained a measure of, I don't even know if you call it revenge, but got a play done against him, and that's been difficult for them all game long.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Now here's Stroud. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though, no surprise they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Stroud on 3rd down now. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to him.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. 4th down, 4th quarter. Here's Stroud. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Jackson going to keep it running right. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots, and that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. Fourth quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the touchdown.
Isaiah Likely, 31 yards. And the Ravens are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their fourth quarter lead. So this looking more and more like it is going to be a successful kickoff to their campaign as they add on here.
And partner, NFL coaches, they're on the sideline thinking about all the little things that need correcting. But for the most part, they've got to be ecstatic with the way this season has started out.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And the lead is now 24. So that drive, 4 plays. And finishing that drive off was the touchdown grab by Isaiah Likely. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Phillips, he's not going to bring this one out, so they will begin the drive at the 25. Houston set to take over. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown, so now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
A good pickup there, 26 yards. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Stroud to throw it. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game, and he's got a first down.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it'll be second down.
At the Ravens' 32-yard line.
Stroud. And that throw behind his man. He missed him, incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Stroud now on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
From the 34-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8. They'll go again with Dobbins. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge fourth quarter stop? Give him an even gain of 10, but now it's fourth down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
And now out comes Houston. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. One play has him to the 37 here for first and 10. And Stroud now to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. Stroud now on 2nd down. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 43. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They intercept Stroud again, the 3rd time in this game. Picked off by Roquan Smith. And the Ravens are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now, right?
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And they will finally get him to the ground at the Texans' 24. Well, they only needed a small gain on third down. They end up getting over 30 yards. What a run there. I mean, you got speed, elusiveness, escapability all rolled into one.
And we all know that quarterbacks are coached. They get the ball to the guys who can do all the things you just described. You want those guys who have speed, elusiveness, and escapability all rolled into one with the ball in their hands. And guess what? It's him. So there's no sense in throwing it or handing it off when you can do all of that yourself.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Will Anderson, that is one that he will remember. His first career sack in his first career game in the National Football League.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. 50 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. Lots of praise on this drive. Obviously, I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On third down, here's Dobbins. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
That's what you call stringing the play out. I know he was looking for a spot to get upfield, but they gave him nowhere to cut, nowhere to find a place to make it into the secondary, and they forced him out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. The 2nd down throw now from Stroud. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Throwing now is Stroud. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
This has been a rough one to put it mildly for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
4th down, Stroud going to try to throw for it. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And, boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Another run here with Dobbins. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he'll try and throw here on the fake. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. The city always a little extra excitement for Week 1. And one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year,